Today we are talking about building relationships with adult students while in the role of instructional coaches. First, we are going to start by reviewing what an instructional coach does. So an instructional coach is expected to be a mentor and a model to teachers, someone that they know can model these instructional tools that we're trying to pass on to them. Instructional coaches should also be an instructional leader. They should be able to analyze and compile data that can be just school level exit tickets or even as advanced as state level testing. And instructional coaches should lastly be able to work as a liaison between teachers and administrators. Both teachers and administrators need to feel safe and comfortable talking to the instructional coach and feel that they are able to make important instructional decisions. Next, we're going to be answering why instructional coaches need to build a relationship with adult students. In our case, adult students mean the teachers we are working with. For schools to improve, instructional coaches need to have teachers buy into their practices and models. We need to make teachers feel important and that they also have a big job for both student and school improvement. So why is building relationships with teachers important? Building relationships with teachers helps build trust among the staff members, helps the instructional coach earn the respect of the teacher, which again will help us get that teacher buy-in to what we are trying to get them to do in their own classrooms, and also makes the teacher more comfortable with observations. We have all been in the position of having someone come into our classroom and we don't know what their purpose for being there is, which can be very overwhelming. If you have a relationship with your instructional coach, it's a lot easier to allow them into your classroom for them to see your best practices. Here is our first approach for building trusting relationships with teachers. First, at the very beginning of the year or your first meeting with a teacher, take the time to ask about their goals for their classroom. Make sure you take note of what they say so you're able to reflect and give concise feedback throughout the school year related to the information they shared with you in that initial meeting. Respond by sharing your school-wide goals as the instructional coach. You want to show them that you're valuing their goals and also make them feel that you're trusting them when you share your own goals as well. A second approach to building trusting relationships is being transparent. Transparency means being as honest as possible. Share what you're looking for in observations prior to coming in so that they know what they're focused on when they see you come into their classroom and they're able to do their very best for you to see that. Give teachers space to confide in you when professional and appropriate. This is a chance for you to act as a liaison between admin and teachers. Make sure that teachers know that they can talk to you in a space that's comfortable and that is a space where you will be productive with the information they share with you. Another approach for building trusting relationships is to allow teachers to give you feedback. Send out ways for teachers to provide you with feedback multiple times throughout the school year. You can send out Google Forms or SurveyMonkey and also try and just asking face-to-face what they wish that you would be doing in your role. This can be done after professional development or after a one-on-one feedback session with that teacher. Next, we'll be answering the question, how can I communicate effective feedback? The first step is always staying focused. Use the focus of your observation as your feedback tool. Try to stay on that topic as much as you can so teachers know that that's what you were focused on while you were in their classroom, and then they know that they can trust you when they're trying to put their best foot forward. For example, you had a pre-observation conference with a teacher who wanted support around technology. Keep your feedback focused around the technology aspect of the lesson when it comes time for you to have a one-on-one debrief with them. Another effective strategy for communicating is to give teachers a chance to reflect prior to you giving them your feedback. Ask them what you think went well or what they would do differently if they were to redo their lesson. If a teacher has already discussed a negative that you had noted about their lesson, keep it short when you discuss it. This tells them that you actually listened to them and they know already that they needed to improve, so there's no reason to dwell on it. Give a quick action step so they can improve their practice. I noticed that the model in your lesson wasn't as strong as it needed to be. Next time, make sure you try this. That gives them an action step so they can right away the next day or even that same day fix the lesson or improve their next similar lesson. How else can I communicate feedback effectively? The biggest tool for giving effective feedback is time. Make sure you give feedback as immediate as possible. That way teachers are able to immediately apply the feedback to their practice that same day or as soon as possible, especially if there was a big tweak in the lesson, they're able to reteach as needed. Also, make sure you allow space and time for modeling and practice. This could mean that you're modeling a portion of the lesson or you're giving them time to practice another lesson so that they feel more confident the next time they're going in. Here's our quick wrap up on how to build relationships with adult students. Make sure you're asking about teachers' goals for their classroom for the entirety of the school year. Be as transparent as possible. That way teachers feel comfortable being transparent and honest with you. Allow teachers to give you feedback as often as possible when it is appropriate so that they know that you are willing to grow and change throughout the school year as well. And then here's our wrap up on giving effective feedback. Make sure you stay focused on what the lesson focus was. Allow teachers time to reflect prior to giving your feedback. Make sure your feedback is timely, and allow time and space for modeling and practice. Make sure you do not dwell on the negative parts of the lesson if there were any. And if you are talking about negative, make sure you are giving immediate action steps that they can apply to their classrooms as soon as possible. Thank you for joining us on how to build trusting relationships with adult students. And this last slide here is just the references for today. Thank you.